There's something really special about playing a Bowser Castle course in Mario Kart. There's a certain joy of being able to ride around in a dark castle filled with lava. It makes you feel really edgy. Which is weird considering Bowser is one of the biggest wimps to ever come out of villains, but regardless, the presentation is generally well structured as well as intense. I've thought about making a top 10 on the best Bowser Castle tracks, but instead I'd like to go into a lot of detail about my favorite one of all time, including a couple of runner-ups. Believe it or not, my favorite Bowser Castle course is actually the Mario Kart Wii one. You might be surprised to hear that from me considering I really don't like Mario Kart Wii that much, but this course is something special. I guess to start off, I'd like to discuss the overall design. I mean, just wow. This course is a perplexing mess of turns, twists, and half-pipes, and I freaking love it. I mean, you start the course by basically launching yourself into Bowser's mouth. And I know that's happened in other courses, but it feels more fierce because you go off this bridge that flies you high in the air, and when you land, you're right at the entrance. Then you get in there, and the floors are all wavy and contorted, allowing you to execute several boosts. After that, you'll have to make several sharp turns. And see, what's nice about this track is that not only is it genuinely creative and plays beautifully, but it also makes sure to be a challenge. Well, at least for me, because I'm really bad at Mario Kart Wii. So, since I suck monkey balls at this game, the turns give me a lot of trouble, as I said, thanks to the stairs ruining my flow of momentum. And then we get to the heart of the stage. You're riding across some grates, practically forced to use the half-pipes, all while Bowser is shooting fireballs at you. It's all so exhilarating. Every time I get to this part of the track, I just get giddy and excited. The hairs on my arms rise from the thrill. Now, of course, you can use a mushroom across this part. You can drive through the middle across the mud, but not only is that lame, the fireballs can be an obtrusion if you don't time yourself well enough. Granted, they're easy to avoid, but I digress. You even have to be careful going off the half-pipes too, because there's fire wheels spinning that can hit you, even though that isn't likely to happen. And I mean, just look at that. I spent like 20 to 30 seconds talking about 5 seconds of gameplay. That really says something. So after, you'll move forward and have to take the left or right path. Either or works since there's not really a difference in length. You'll take more tight turns, a big jump, and then at the end there's a bunch of what I guess I would call lava geysers that randomly splurge lava into the air. While the lava obviously hurts you, you can do many tricks off the humps, which is really great. Since it's random, there's no definite way to optimally move as fast as possible, so you'll always have to think on the spot and make the best of your situation, as well as make sure you don't run into the lava. I should also quickly discuss that this course looks straight up beautiful. The lava effects really glisten, and the lighting in the castle is lit in a way that's really spooky. While the music isn't my favorite piece of all time, it still does the job quite well. It helps build atmosphere and really immerses you into the experience. And it's not even just the music. The sounds of the road and fire further complement the experience. So now I'm gonna do something I've never really done before, and that's to talk about honorable mentions or runner-ups, whatever you want to call it. First up, I'm including Mario Kart Wii's remix of Mario Kart 64's Bowser Castle. Now, this is a track that's pretty heavily loved in the original, but I've always preferred the Wii version. This remake feels much more polished than that one, and it does have a lot to offer. You'll not only drive through the castle, as I'm sure that's obvious by now, but you also drive through this courtyard section. It's really unexpected, but certainly a welcome addition. What's striking about this track is the difficulty. A lot of the turns are 90 degrees, there are thwomps all over the place, and it's really easy to smack into a wall and slow down. You know, I'm telling you about those thwomps, they are really hard to avoid. A couple of them actually make you think and use brain cells to avoid them. This was actually pretty close to being my number one pick. Another honorable mention is Mario Kart 7's Bowser's Castle. This is probably my least played Bowser Castle track because I didn't play that much of Mario Kart 7 to begin with, but it's still very memorable to me. I love how the track is constantly splitting in different directions. There's quite a few alternate paths you can take. Mario Kart 7 really focused on that, which is nice because it makes this track really refreshing to play. For some reason, I love the part where you're underwater and there's lava shooting out of the ground. I've always found that amusing for some reason. And I gotta give a shout out to Mario Kart 8's Bowser Castle. While it's pretty creative, I still felt that the Wii version offered more in terms of innovation, and it was much more difficult. but I do have to say that I'm much more in tune with the music. It's got a rocking guitar playing the melody, and it's just straight up wonderful. It has to be my favorite part of this Bowser's Castle. This was another close contender to being my #1 pick. Finally, I have to mention the GameCube's Bowser Castle. This one isn't exactly super innovative or anything, but it's still a really solid track. I think if I were to show someone what a Bowser Castle track was and never heard of it before, I would probably show them this one. The presentation defines what this style of course is. I find the Wii one to be more fun and interesting still, but it's also a bit out there, and that's why I love it. Anyway, my favorite section is at the end with the Bowser statue that spits out the fireballs. I enjoy the thrill of choosing, do I take that risky jump down the middle, or do I take the long route down to the right? And there you have it, folks. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment and tell me what your favorite Bowser Castle track is and why. Follow my Twitter and Instagram for updates on upcoming videos. Thanks a ton for watching, guys, and I will speak to you all soon.